Okay, so I built this program because I started running Mario recently, and I didn't really know how good I should be at certain tricks. Like getting 380 out of the first pipe, for instance, is that something worth going for in my runs? If I can do it half the time, sure. If not, maybe I should be content with 379 for now. So that's why I built this. Originally was to just kind of determine what tricks were worth going for in a run, what tricks I could practice a little bit harder and then they would be worth going for in a run, and what tricks I should just not worry about for now until I have time to practice them more. So that's the gist of what this is. I know a lot of people have kept stats before, but I never saw any program to do it for you. There's still a little bit of manual work you have to do, but it's not as bad as like an Excel spreadsheet or something. I'll go ahead and show you what it is. On the bottom left here where it says none and paused, that's the live stat keeper. So I'll unpause it, and by holding down the numeric 1, it brings you to the first split. I've already used this apparently, so I'm at 28 of 100, or that's 28 successes, 100 fails, so it's not actually 28%, it's lower than that. So every time you close the program and reopen it, it's going to reset that. So I'm actually just going to close it and reopen it to show you here. So there's 380, 0 of 0, right? So I don't really care too much about running my stats right here, so I'll just show you for a success, you just double tap the numeric 1. For a fail, you single tap. So I did that because I think a lot of people have their foot pedal bound to numeric 1, and in practice mode you're not using live split, so you could use that foot pedal to log your successes and failures instead. And then also a long press on 1 brings you to the next thing you might want to practice, and then 3 will reset. So it's sort of just, I use the same keys that live split uses because I think a lot of people are going to be used to that. I don't know if anyone else is actually going to be interested in running this, but I thought if they were, I should just go ahead and program it that way. Also, you can undo one thing. So like, let's say I did a success there, but I didn't really, I need to reset that. So hitting 2 will reset that. Now, the stats just above me right here, or just below me, those are kept in a database, and that's logged through an API. When you have a success or failure, it sends it to the API, so the API can keep track of all your data. So the thing that has the 11380, that's the program, like your current session basically, and up here, just below my picture, that's your global stats. And right now, the numbers you're seeing are the past 100 attempts. I may change that to like the past 20 attempts, or also have maybe your in all stats, I don't know. Like, I sort of just finished this, so I don't really know what direction it'll go. On the left, the percentages there are your chances of just doing that one trick. On the right are your chances of getting to the trick and then successfully completing it. Just finishing 8-1, I've got 0.02% chance. So in order for me to beat the game doing these 4 things, I'm going to need 2,200 attempts, which is basically just the odds divided by 2. And then the time needed is 6 hours. That's kind of loose math. That's based on if you did every trick optimally up to that point, how much time does it take? So it's basically just your resets. Like, if you have a lot of resets at the 11380, but you don't have a lot of resets in 8-1, it's quicker. So the time is fairly accurate based on the amount of attempts, but it's not obviously 100%. I'll just do a quick run to 380 here. Obviously, if you have like EverDriver Power Pack, these practice things are a lot easier. I mean, in fact, I wouldn't even recommend doing it without one. If you're gonna really practice hardcore, you would really need to have an EverDriver. So just save state there, right? I mean, everyone that practices knows this. So then you just do one, and oh my god. See, I really need to log a failure for that. Sometimes, so then I'm going to log 1 failure for the one that I skipped, and then 1 success. So now that's logged in thing, and then my 380 into pipe is going to update accordingly. Alright, so this is your setup. It's basically what you want the run to be, or what you're calculating for to see if you want to try that run or not. Once you've practiced everything, all of the data will be filled in. I don't have all of the data filled in. Like, let's say any wrong warp, that's a trick I know I can do, a lot better than I could do the optimal wrong warp, but I've never tried it. So that's going to come up as 0, and it would be infinite amount of time to try this. I need to log some data for that. But in general, you're going to set up your run here. What do you want your run to be? Or maybe you're just experimenting with, is it better for me to try the 420 Blaze It? Or is it better for me to try the 8-3 Flagpole glitch? or, you know, what is my optimal setup to actually get a run completed? What's my optimal setup to go for world record, or whatever it might be. So I'm going to add more into this, but that's the idea, is every little thing that would kill a run is going to be in here. You know, although I may add some stats for tricks that don't kill you, like 380 into pipe, for instance. If you do get a 379, it might still be possible to PB, so you'll continue trying. So that doesn't kill the run entirely, it just sort of kills the run. So it just kind of depends on what you're going for, and I don't know exactly how I would set that up. But my hope is that other people will want to use this, and not only can it be useful for your own runs as far as your own data goes, but you could look at everyone that's using it, what is their average. If the average of 380 is, you know, 70%, and you're at, what am I, at 23%, yeah, that's a trick that I really need to be practicing a lot more to get to 70%. But then, you know, on the flip side, like, there could be difficult things that I'm reasonable at, and I don't really need to practice that as much. Like, let's say the optimal wrong warp or something. If I change to that, I'm 7% getting an optimal wrong warp. If the average of that, I mean, if most people aren't going for that, and the average of getting it is, you know, around 5%, then I'm probably okay, and I need to catch up on the other things before I really waste a lot of time practicing that. So if we can get a lot of people to use it, then it's a good way to see what you should be working on, and what you're good at. And, you know, we can finally see if SumWest is actually the flagpole glitch champion, or what it is. I think stats are very important when you're trying something like this, especially something that's so easy to figure out the stats. You know, it's not like this would be a terribly difficult game to figure the stats out. So yeah, I don't know if anyone else is interested in trying this. I built the API so that it accepts different users. So it wouldn't be a whole lot of effort for me to add users into this to where, you know, we can have that. But I don't want to put the effort if no one's going to use it but me anyway. So I just wanted to make a quick video showing how it works, and, you know, hopefully it's going to be simple enough that it's worth doing. And if you have any ideas on what could be changed, that's good too. But yeah, just let me know if this is something that could be helpful, and I'll look into what I can do to get it live.